everybody, this is Sherry at dgsundries.blogspot.com and welcome to the 4th day of Christmas tags. So today we are doing 4 messages because there's 4 calling birds. The tag itself says, on the 4th day of Christmas your true love gave to you 4 calling birds, and I know this is mostly off screen and that's because I don't want you to see it yet. 4 calling birds. I can't find those calling birds, but here are 4 messages they left for you before they flew off. So what I did is I just found Christmas things. One was the story of the Legend of the Candy Cane, a very brief version of it, and then some poems, and I printed them out, 4 different ones, Christmas carols and different things like that. Printed them out, and then I just put them on Christmas paper, just pretty Christmas paper, and I put them in an envelope. And then I decorated the envelope, and I'll show you that in just a second here. This is just the envelope. All I did was I had a piece of Christmas paper. I put it down. I think I'll go real quick and kind of ink around the edges, just like you see here, just to add some interest to it. So it looks like it's more than, I mean, we want the messages to be nice. And then I've got the messages tucked inside, and I'm again using my Close to My Heart Ruby. So that's the messages. Let's get on with the tag. The technique we're going to talk about today is embossing. Now yesterday we learned about heat embossing and using the powder. Today we're going to be talking about doing regular dry embossing or press embossing, or I suppose there's different words you can call it. Now I have a Cuttlebug. There are different machines that you could use for this technique. There's the Big Shot, there's Spellbinders die, there's oh, I don't even know all of them, the Tim Holtz Vagabond, there's all different sorts of, there's several Sizzix machines that could do this technique, but the machine that I have is my good old faithful Cuttlebug. Now when you get my Cuttlebug, I've had for a while, and it's changed slightly in design, I believe, but this is the one I have. Now when I purchased mine came with these plates, 2B plates, which you can see are very well loved. That's these 2. The white one's the big one, and then it came with the C plate. I believe when you purchase one now, the C plate is not part of it, but I could be wrong because I've had mine for a while. So now this machine is great because you can do this technique that I'm going to show you today, the embossing technique, and then on another day on the videos I'm going to show you how you can actually cut with it using dies. And you don't have to have just the Cuttlebug brand dies or embossing folders. Now today the embossing folders that I'm going to be using are Tim Holtz, and I have a set. It was a set of 4. And I've written on mine because I threw away the packaging because it takes up so much room. And this was a set of 4 Christmas borders and backgrounds. And this is one, and it's like an icicle background. So let me show you how to use that. I've already started. Now I fold this out. Now this is on my sticky mat. If it wasn't on the sticky mat, it's supposed to have gripper feet that would adhere to the table. So I'm going to set this up. I'm going to put my A plate down and my B plate down. And again, if some of this is off the camera, I apologize. I've got it focused in pretty tight. Now this is the embossing folder, the main embossing folder I'm going to be using. This is the Holiday Print Christmas Borders. This is number 1 of that set of 4. And this one has Christmas, Holiday, Season's Greetings, 25, Believe, Noel, Joy, Wishes, Festive. Now obviously that's not all going to fit on my tag, but we'll just deal with it. Now these are nice little folders that just open and close. Now I've seen some people go in and cut a slit down the middle so that you could do tags with these really easily by sliding it through. I just haven't braved doing that yet. I'm afraid to ruin my embossing folders. But you just cut all those pieces in, and then you're going to put that down, and then you're going to top it with your other B plate. Now the different machines have different sandwiches based on how their plates are set up. This is the Cuttlebug plate set. Now those embossing folders aren't Cuttlebug embossing folders, though I do have plenty of those. These are actually Sizzix brand embossing folders. So now I'm just going to set this aside to get it out of our way, and we'll get back to our tag. So we'll take our sandwich apart, And what I have here now is an embossed sheet. If you see the back, you can see the imprint of it. Now these are obviously words, but you could, if you wanted to, if it was a different thing, you could use the deboss side, which is the side, it's really easy to tell in this one because it's words, it's the side that it's all backwards. We want the embossed side, especially with this one, because we don't want words to be backwards. We want them to be straight. So now I mentioned that I used the icicles one as well, and what I did is I used that because the embossing folder size wasn't quite big enough to fit, and rather than trying to center it right, what I decided to do was to use this one across the bottom, and then we'll put, I'm not sure, maybe we'll do this across the top and we'll put this across the bottom. We'll just see how it all ends up. But the first thing I want to do is kind of decide how I want this centered on. And I'm going to do that by working from the back. Now, because of the texture this adds, I want to use plenty of adhesive. Of course, if you've been watching me make these tags, you know that I use lots of adhesive anyway, probably to the point of overkill. But I definitely don't want this coming up. And now I'm just going to kind of center it. I think I want the whole 25 in there. No, maybe not. Maybe I'll go with that. Kind of hard to decide. I'll just go like that. And then I'm going to hand trim that off. And I know that's not on there quite straight, but I think we're going to be okay. And now I'm just going to trim around my tag. I could have cut it to the correct size of the tag, but I didn't want to do that. I could have, but I didn't want it to slip and slide in there, and this is just the way I chose to do it. But you really only have to do however you want to do it is how you can do it. You can do it like this. Part of the reason I chose not to trim it to the side of the tag is I was afraid that when that embossed its image into it, that it would shrink the paper up a little bit, and if I pre-cut it, I would have had to cut it a little bit wider, and then I would have hand cut it anyway, because if it shrunk up a little bit, I didn't want my manila tag showing through. So there's my tag. Now we have this big blank space at the bottom, but again, we'll fix that because I did this. Now I think I'm going to just let it hang off the bottom because I like it that way. So what I'm going to do, is I'm actually going to put my adhesive on the tag, and I'm going to run 2 rows of adhesive. I'm going to put it on the tag so I can decide where I want it. Now I fussy cut or just hand cut around my tag. Because obviously this isn't a die, it's an embossing folder, and it cuts. It doesn't cut, it just embosses and gives it texture. So there we have the front of our tag. Now we need a hole, don't we? So what I've done is I'm going to pull out my We Are Memories Crop-A-Dile again, turn it upside down where I can see it, center my hole over the hole, and just punch through. And we are actually getting close to being done with the tag. Now the next step is ribbon, of course. Now I decided to go with 3 Girl Jam, my favorite crinkle ribbon company out there, and I decided the color that I wanted to use was sterling rather than white. I just wanted to add just that little tiny bit of sparkle that the sterling adds, and it really looks white when it's by itself like that, but I just wanted to add that to it. And we're almost done with our tag. For the 4 today, I went ahead and adhered it down like I have been, but this time I used just a paper punch, and I punched out a hole that was big enough. But again, I want to use foam to give it a little bit of extra dimension, and I inked around it like I have the others, only this time I used the scarlet just to give it some texture. And I think I'm going to put it... I'll just put it right down kind of in that corner. And then we have, this is a super simple tag, not elegant, it's very pretty, but not a lot of work, pretty quick. And this is our 4th day. And I've got my message on the back. I just had this scrap paper, and I don't even know what this collection is from. It's just some that was in my scrap stash. The red, I believe, is a Coordinations red, just open stock paper. So there we have our 4th day of Christmas, and we'll get it to the neighbor that we're giving him to for 4 calling birds. So thanks so much for stopping by, and remember to link up your tags at www.djsundries.blogspot.com. And remember, take some time to enjoy the little things today. We get busy this time of year and forget to just take time to enjoy our family and friends and the activities and not focus so much on the going. So have a great day. Bye.